Hello guys, hello Torsten. Let's go. Okay. Wait a minute.
Everyone. Nice to be on this space. Torsten, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Hey.
Yeah, good evening. Good morning.
How's it going?
How are you doing today? Yeah, how are you doing today?
Good. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm very, very okay. So it's nice to have you on board today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so GM everybody, welcome to today's AMA talk with Torsten from Scout Bitcoin AI. It's a very good opportunity to learn and relearn and unlearn. So briefly before we start, can you introduce yourself, and tell us how you transition into working in the intersection of AI and
Okay.
Bitcoin?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So my name's Torsten. I'm the CMO at ScoutBitcoin. And I more or less sit at the intersection of behavior, incentives, and decision intelligence, I would say. I've always been, I guess, fascinated by why people make certain choices in markets. It's not so much the charts, but the psychology and the incentives behind those decisions. And Bitcoin is one of the most emotional assets on earth. So the questions that led me personally here was simple. How do you help people make Bitcoin decisions without running into their own, behavioral traps? That's what personally
Okay.
brought me into working with AI in this space. Yeah, and quick intro on about Scout. So Scout Bitcoin is a smart Bitcoin savings platform, and we automate your buying in a conservative, intelligent way. So no trading, no hype, no noise. And the goal is pretty simple: get better entries, you make fewer emotional mistakes, and get long-term accumulation with less stress.
All right, that's nice. That's nice. So, what exactly inspired the creation of this Scout Bitcoin? Because it's something huge, and
Yeah. So in a way, most people don't really lose because they pick bad assets, but they lose because they either buy too early or sell too late, or they get trapped in emotional cycles. So Scout was created to solve one very old problem. How do you keep people consistent in a market that's designed to break consistency? So Scout's not a trading bot. Scout's a Bitcoin savings architecture that removes noise and improves entries in a simple automated way.
okay. You talked about emotional cycle. You talk about emotional cycle. So that's that's something that I noticed as far as as far as Web3 is concerned, as far as crypto trading is concerned. um Most people sometimes invest emotionally, you know
Yeah.
most people invest emotionally, the FOMO, the panic selling, the hype, and all of it. So how does Scout Bitcoin AI helps users remove emotional bias from their decision making?
How does it? Okay. Yeah. So basically, as I said, most people lose because they react, usually emotionally, not because they analyze. So what Scout does is it removes the reaction layer. So the system checks once a day, without emotion, without panic, without FOMO, the market conditions based on 5,000 data points, and then it makes the decision whether it thinks it's sensible to keep Bitcoin or to swap into stables. Most of the time, it just stays put because it's very super conservative. But it's basically like giving the user like a second brain that's not influenced by stress. I guess that's the way to.
Hello? Yeah? I'll call you back, please. I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back. Yeah, okay. That was really, really nice to hear about that. Because something I understand for sure is a lot of us, including myself per se, as long as there's always should I say there's always FOMO, there's always the hype, emotions always comes into play. Emotions always comes into play. So it's nice to see Scout Bitcoin AI changing the narrative out there. It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
So when I was going through I was going through some of the documents about Bitcoin Scout AI. There's something that caught my interest. It was described as a one-click smart Bitcoin saving platform. So for someone that's actually new to crypto, that is new to trading, that is new to Web3, for a newbie, what does that actually mean in practice?
You have a Web2 style login with email and password, and then
Okay.
you can on-ramp funds either from your self-custodial wallet, so that's Web3 style, or through fiat on-ramping. So and then you choose how much you want to put into it, how the frequency, so how often you want to deposit funds into the platform. Could be one time, could be monthly, could be weekly. It's up to you. And then Scout handles the timing of your entries. So if the environment looks strong, if you deposit dollars, it will buy Bitcoin, or if you deposit Bitcoin, it will stay put most of the time. And then it analyzes if conditions shift, So if the risk spikes, if it sees Bitcoin or predicts Bitcoin going down, it will temporarily rotate into stable coins. And vice versa. So if it sees an opportunity that you can get good entries on Bitcoin, it will buy Bitcoin. It's one click because the user doesn't really need to manage settings, indicators, or strategies. So it's simple, super simple to use.
Okay. That's nice. So when you say it's super simple to use, can we is it okay to say that the kind of user benefits from the Scout Bitcoin AI is open and accessible to beginners, long-term holders, and also active traders?
Yeah. I guess it's suited for both beginners and also long-time Bitcoin believers, because a lot of Bitcoin holders, they of course want to keep their Bitcoin, but they would also like to be able to do something with it, not just having it sit
Okay.
idle all the time. And in Bitcoin, there are not really that many options what you can do, because Bitcoin DeFi is not really much happening all that much as of now. So, but
Okay.
so those people who want to do something with their Bitcoin, who want to do savings, to save into Bitcoin anyway. So it's for different groups really, but yes, it's for beginners as well, because it will be super simple, it will be super simple to use. And I guess also could probably also use it for traders, because active traders, they often tend to overtrade, and Scout helps them reduce that tendency as well, because it takes the emotion out of it.
All right. That's nice. So earlier when you were talking, you made mention of Scout Bitcoin AI not being a market making?
No, it's definitely not market maker. Market
Okay,
makers,
so
because market makers react to micro movements and they provide liquidity. We don't do that.
all right,
Does not
okay,
do that.
all right,
We don't
all right.
influence the market, we don't run high frequency strategies. We don't scalp. So we help users to enter Bitcoin more intelligently. That's it. We're not market making.
Okay, so you talked about help users, enter Bitcoin markets more effectively,
Yep.
and in terms of timing. So what signals or data does the AI consider in making these certain decisions?
It checks over 5,000 data points. It goes
Okay.
to indicators, on-chain analysis, and then also market sentiment.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it makes the decision. So it has a pretty wholesome strategy. It's not just technical analysis, but it uses much more than that.
All right, that's nice. So talk still on the area of AI behavior incentives and on-chain funding. You specialize in those areas, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So how does all these elements, how do they influence the AI models powering the Scout Bitcoin AI?
Well, incentives, I'd say, drive markets more than information.
Okay.
People chase strength and they panic in drawdowns. Those are the usual loops. We can see that, right? So people buy
Yeah.
into an asset when it's going up. The vast majority does, and they panic sell when there's a drawdown. So
All right.
in Scout models, those behavioral shifts indirectly by watching how market conditions change around them.
All right. Okay. So based on these market changes and also behavioral patterns of trades, Bitcoin trades, from your own experience, which behavioral pattern do you think hurts Bitcoin investors the most, and how does Scout counter these behavioral patterns?
Okay. Well, I'd say panic entries and panic exits. Those are the top two, and then also
Okay.
over trading. I would say
Okay.
those are the three behavioral patterns that hurt investors the most. And
Okay.
Scout counters all three by limiting decisions, to structure once per day model and by waiting for stable conditions. So Scout does not act on emotion, on a panic.
That's great. That's great. So let's talk about security a bit.
Mhm.
As far as any Web3 project, as far as any project, be it Web3 or not, is concerned,
Yeah,
security is always a major concern. So
yeah.
how
So
safe, what in terms of users funds and data, how safe are they when the Scout is making automated decisions?
we use institutional grade custody for user funds. So because for us, security is the first design principle, not the last, or not just an afterthought.
Okay.
Yeah. So our custodian of choice is BitGo. So because they're one of the biggest institutional grade custodians, so we use BitGo for that.
Okay. So the institution in charge of the custody of the funds,
Mhm.
I'm still trying to understand. So if there is an institution that is in charge of the custody of users' fund, then how much control does the user retain when he wants to, maybe make transactions or something?
So
Is it more like CX?
control. We don't have any control over the assets. You get your
Okay.
own address in BitGo. You can
Okay.
deposit and withdraw anytime. So the
All right.
user always keeps ownership, but the system executes automated entries and reallocations within a secured environment. But we don't have access to your funds.
Okay. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. So so far in terms of the testing and all, when I was going through your website, there was some reports, some test reports, about the performance of the Scout Bitcoin AI. So I would love you to talk a bit about about those early results, if possible. If possible, maybe you can share it to the AMA dashboard if it's on your.
Yeah, let me see. Grab the link.
Okay.
But yeah, we backtested it over a 5-year period, from 2020
Okay.
to 2025. And over that period, it showed an 833% outperformance versus standard DCA.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but I think the more important point is actually consistency. So you get fewer bad entries and fewer emotional mistakes.
Okay.
And yeah, let me get the link in a bit. Give me a second. Okay, let's go on and I get the link.
All right, no problem. So while you are still searching for it, let me ask you another question. What is the biggest misconception people have about AI-powered Bitcoin investing? Like, what do you think are one of those things that, people think, should I say wrongly, yeah, about the AI-powered Bitcoin investing?
I would say that AI is completely about prediction, because I don't think it is. I mean, AI is best at reducing human error, not predicting the future. So
Okay.
so what the AI does, it reacts early to the data it gets.
All right. That's nice. That's nice. So how does Scout plans to involve the Bitcoin community in its development and growth?
AI will gradually open community feedback loops, education, intelligence dashboards, so people can understand why Scout makes certain decisions, and we also will have certain incentive programs for users, which we'll announce them once they're ready, but they can already give away that much. There will be incentive programs.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice to hear. So, talking about the future of AI, what excites you the most about the future of AI in Bitcoin decision making?
Well, I guess the possibility of giving everyday Bitcoiners, the kind of decision infrastructure that used to exist only in hedge funds, because what Scout does is it uses quant tech, and that's what Wall Street hedge funds have been using for decades. And up till now, it was only accessible, through those hedge funds. So we're democratizing that. We're making it accessible to regular Bitcoin investors.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so my last question goes this way. If you will give one advice to Bitcoin investors struggling with timing, emotions, and discipline, most especially, I think was it last month when we have the leverage issues and all,
Yeah.
and the market was kind of very red. So if you are to give one piece of advice to all Bitcoin investors out there who are struggling, what would that be?
Stop trying to predict the bottoms. Yeah. Easy as that. I mean, start removing the behaviors that stop you from benefiting when they arrive. So I guess that, but that comes back, that ties back to emotion, because if you predict the bottom and then the bottom's not coming where you want it, then you tend to react emotionally again, and that sets you up for failure.
Yeah, actually, true. All right, it's nice hearing your voice, Tosin. So just in case people want to hear more about Scout Bitcoin, so apart from your X account, how can they follow up the project?
Well, if they want to hear more from us, we do a weekly Twitter space, usually on
Okay.
Tuesday nights. So for people in Europe and Africa, perhaps a bit late, but we record it, so you can always listen back to it later. So that's
All
one
right.
way. Another way is well, you can contact us on X, on Twitter. You can also hop onto our LinkedIn page, and and the website is not live yet, but it will be in I guess in the next couple of weeks, and then you can hop onto the website as well. And we have a really detailed Git book where you can read all about Scout. Yeah, let me just check how do I get the link up there. So I guess I can drop the link in the comments because the AMA is going to be over in a minute anyway, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
So I just dropped the backtesting report.
Okay. Okay, I've seen it. That's great.
Yeah, so here we go. I just want to put a comment above it so people know what it is. And I'll get you the Git book in a second.
Okay.
So there we go. It's in the comments to the AMA.
Okay, I've seen that.
And
That's nice.
of course, you already posted the video, the intro video here in the nest. Okay, yeah, that's another good thing to check out if you want to learn more about Scout, because it includes a quick live demo of the platform, so you get you can see what's going to look like once the private beta is ready, which will be at the end of the year. And yeah, then we're happy to get users on board.
All right, that's nice. That's nice. So just before we round up, I'm just curious. I just want to ask a random question. Yeah. So basically, being in Web3, I just want to understand. If not Web3, if not Web3, where do you see yourself? Outside Web3. I mean.
Oh, that's a good question, because yeah, I guess I've been through already a lot of things in my life. So
Okay.
just last night it was I'm for example I'm also part-time photographer in my free time.
Wow,
So
that's
last
nice.
night I was shooting another concert. That's one thing. I'm a published writer.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been working in communications and as a journalist or as a writer for quite some time. Been teaching. So where do I see myself? Honestly, where life takes me.
That's a
No,
nice
I
answer.
mean, I have a quite many different. I have quite a vast variety of interests. So, well, I guess whatever picks my fancy the most at a given time.
All right, that's nice. That's nice. All right, so thank you very much for your time joining us and sharing valuable insights about Scout Bitcoin AI. It's
Yeah,
really it's really an honor having you on the space today.
yeah. Thanks for having me, and glad you liked it.
All right. Yeah, thank you. And then to everyone who joined us, thank you very much for your time, for your energy. Of course, you can always follow Scout Bitcoin AI to learn more about them. Follow their Twitter handle, and of course, join their Telegram community for more details. Until next time, I still remain your host, Honorable Awesome. Stay curious, stay building, and see you in the next stage. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.